Boy, it's a big crowd tonight. So, the first thing that I'd like to do this evening, actually, before we move to the presentations, is reiterate a statement. Obviously, everyone in this room knows what happened yesterday at City Hall, and then make some additional comments as well, just in case you did not see my statement. I'm happy to cooperate with the inquiry going on at City Hall, just as I have always been fully cooperative and open in all of my many years as elected official in Palm Springs, almost 12. I have complete confidence in this city council, certainly our city manager, David Reddy, our city attorney, Doug Holland, and all the wonderful city staff here in the city of Palm Springs. They will do everything to cooperate by ensuring that this process will be swift and thorough as possible. We all want it to be swift and as thorough as possible. Palm Springs, if you're going to chirp in, wait till public comments, you can come say as much as you'd like. Palm Springs has made tremendous progress over the last 8 years. We simply can't permit this matter to sidetrack our efforts to make the future even brighter. The city, a month or 2 months ago, also started their own independent investigations of the incentive program and the RDA properties. There's no doubt that we will continue to provide as much information with this investigation or any additional information needed in the upcoming report on the RDA property. It would be remiss for me not to seize a little bit on a comment in the Desert Sun. Seizing items. They seized items from the mayor. They went to the mayor's house. The mayor cooperatively met them at my house to give them my iPad and my iPhone. So I know you can use something in a headline. It was very cooperatively given, and is everything that I'm going to do and the city is going to do to help us move past this. For many of you are in the crowd hoping to hear the words, but I'm going to resign tonight. I'm not going to resign tonight. So I will continue to lead the city for the next few months into the end of my term before I go end and be with my family in Denver, Colorado. So I also ask everyone, don't jump to all the conclusions. This investigation will be thorough, and we'll all live by the conclusion. So with that, I appreciate you're all here. We have a long council meeting, and I will look forward to hearing your public comments. So thank you very much. Mr. Thompson will give me my list. Lisa Middleton, followed by Michael Harrington, and then Ronald Levy. Or Levy.
Mr. Mayor, City Council, I'll keep this very quick. This was not a good week for our city. It certainly was not a good day yesterday. There are individuals from the organized neighborhoods of Palm Springs that I'm privileged to chair that are in City Hall almost every day of the week. We interact daily with the city staff, the professionals that carry out the work that needs to be done. And I want to compliment our police department, our fire department, our code enforcement individuals, the public works staff. We see nothing in the way of distraction from the people that you've asked to carry out the responsibility of the city. We thank them for their professionalism, and we thank you for their work.
And thank you. Michael Harrington. If I call your name, if you'll come up to the side, since we have a lot of public comment speakers. Mr. Moon, you will be after Dr. Levy. Okay.
Okay, so my name is Michael Harrington. I'm a local lawyer here, and I'm concerned that what's going on right now will set a low standard, and there's a lot of discussion about, charges haven't been filed, or, we're confident we won't be found guilty of any wrongdoing, and I would like to see a higher standard, the standard not one that, I didn't get arrested, but one of, have the public trust. maybe voluntarily disclosing, not just waiting for staff to advise you of new policies, but each of you and everyone that works at City Hall, really, each of you has your own standards and reputations and conscience as well to uphold. So every time you're here, you can make a decision what you do or don't do. You could also voluntarily disclose relationships, consulting fees, and so forth. Not suggesting it's an accusation that anything was done wrong, just to have that higher confidence that things were discussed ahead of time. So there's no clock running, so I don't know the time.
Right here.
Okay, so briefly, I want to explain that, a task force doesn't come and search without probable cause. And just because charges aren't filed in any particular case doesn't mean that wrongdoing didn't take place. So anyone experienced in criminal law knows that. I did defense work a long time ago before I decided to help victims and even support law enforcement in any way I can. So I've really changed in my 23 years. But we know that often people are not charged all the time. But it's hard to get a search warrant. It's hard to find probable cause and prove that up. A prosecutor also has to have a high standard that they won't file a case. They have a special ethical duty under the law that they will not file a case unless they're very confident that they can prove beyond reasonable doubt the guilt to a jury. So a lot of times cases don't meet that high standard. So just because someone avoided a prosecution doesn't mean that it wasn't wrongdoing. Also, people can't just say, well, I didn't know anything. If you know something, you tell somebody. If you're smart, we're assuming you're all smart people here at City Hall, so people hear things, and there's a duty on you now. So lastly, somewhat in levity, this is from the old days when I did criminal defense. I used to give these out. You can have one. They're free. They're complimentary. It's not a solicitation because I don't do criminal defense anymore. I won't represent you. But this explains your right to remain silent. It explains your right to remain silent should you encounter law enforcement. They have questions for you, or you encounter an FBI raid.
All right. Thank you. Dr. Levy, followed by Mr. Moon. And
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, City Council, and staff. My name is Robert Moon, and I've been a resident of Palm Springs for 14 years. I'm here tonight to comment on item 5B under new business for an amendment to the museum marketplace specific plan. On November 12th, 2012, almost 3 years ago, I stood here before you and I defended the downtown museum, the downtown project, and the Kimpton Hotel. On December 4th, 2012, 3 years ago, the Desert Sun printed a Valley Voice I wrote, and I'd like to quote from that. I said, the plan for downtown Palm Springs and its plazas, with its plazas, open spaces, sightlines, and Village Green, all with the Kimpton Hotel as its focal point, will be the key to our future and our prosperity for decades to come. I also said it will create an excitement and a vibe that will be contagious and result in a 21st century renaissance of our downtown. It is a critical first step in moving Palm Springs from being a 1960 village to a proud, beautiful, vibrant, and diverse city that reflects the excitement and wonder of this new 21st century. Let's all get on board, get on track, and get it built. Unfortunately, what I see now where we are with this downtown development project is far from where we were 3 years ago when I stood up here and talked to you before. Block A, which is originally proposed to be a 16-foot high building with pop-up shops and adjoining the Hyatt Hotel with that continuation between the two buildings, is now a very large building which we can all see going up right now, far from what was proposed. Also, a new JC Marriott Hotel, which is nearly twice the footprint of the Kimpton, has also been approved to be constructed next to the Kimpton and in front of, to the left of the Palm Springs Art Museum. Now the developer wants to add a 75-plus foot high third hotel just southwest of the west, what's called the West Elm Building, which is Block A, this new building on Block B1. It is also proposed that the city pay $111,000 for the environmental assessment report. I would like to propose that any portion of that environmental assessment report that has to do with the developer's request should be paid by the developer and not by the citizens of Palm Springs. I also respectfully call upon the City Council to do a couple of things. One, provide us an architectural model of the museum Plaza project as it now stands, and put that model in the Wellwood Murray Museum or somewhere where the citizens of Palm Springs can go see it. Also, hold another town hall like you did over 3 years ago and tell us where we are now in this project. It's been very confusing with all the changes. And finally, provide a full and comprehensive summary of all the taxpayer dollars that are currently committed or planned for this redevelopment, including the parking structure, the event space, the streets and infrastructure, and any developer tax rebates, including the $55 million that's been committed to the developer Westman Development out of our TOT taxes. Thank you very much.
Mr. Flagg will be responding to many of those comments, Mr. Moon, in the staff report of item 5B, just to clarify some of those items. All right, Wesley Ross, if you'll come forward, followed by Bob.
Good evening, Council. I'm Bob Weinstein. I'm running for mayor of Palm Springs. I am one of the largest business owners in South Palm Springs. I have one of the largest holdings of commercial rental properties in South Palm Springs. My concern goes to both the mayor and Ms. Vogt. My concern is the largest corruption allegations in the history of the country that was made yesterday against Mr. Ponet. Again, I thank Ms. Vogt and Mayor Ponet for their service. But we're concerned about saving face. The business community is concerned about saving face for Palm Springs. And I'm a leader, one of the leaders of the business community. I have, as part of my tenants, we have 2 TV stations and 3 newspapers. We have assets exceeding $500 million. My concern is that in light of these allegations, and this is directed to Mayor Ponet and Ms. Vogt, there were also additional allegations against Ms. Vogt regarding an assault on another candidate's spouse last week. There was a complaint filed yesterday, which I'm very concerned about, and Ms. Vogt's involvement of that attack. In light of all these allegations, would both the mayor and Ms. Vogt consider, in order to save face and what's in the best interest of Palm Springs, would either one of you consider stepping down?
Have you completed your public comment?
I have. Thank you.
All right, thank you, sir. Mr. Robin Kavita.
Mr. Mayor and City Council, my comment has already been covered by Mr. Moon. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Nicole Vandell, if you'll come down. So we will move to council member comments. You want to hold these to end, or council, do you have things? Okay. Mayor Pro Tem Lewin, I guess, first, and Ginny will go to you. All right. Mr.
Thank
Lewin.
you, Mayor. I just want to say thank you to the citizens of Palm Springs that came out tonight. So classy, really so classy. People have come here, they've sat 3 to 4 hours to come and tell us to stick together, to keep leading the city. And it just means a lot to me that people would take that time after a difficult day yesterday. And so many of them recognize also the fine achievements of our city staff. And it's not just these 5 or 6 men that you see here. There are men and women in this building that are fantastic people. And I think we all on this council appreciate what they do every single day. But again, to repeat, just thank you to the citizens for how you've come out tonight. It means a lot.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. Ms. Vogt.
Yes, I want that gentleman from Moreno Valley to move to Palm Springs because it is so interesting to me to see how there's a bad side and how people judge so quickly and how people are so quick to throw stones. But to see the majority of our citizens say, we're with you, we support you, and we'll be with you. And we've worked hard as a council, and we've made some wonderful things happen in the city, and you've all helped us do that. And so I'm very proud of what I've done in this city. And I know, Mr. Weinstein, I am not resigning. And I think that what we have to do is right now is just to give it a rest. Yesterday was very painful for all of us and for the staff. It was very horrible for the staff. They were sent home. It was horrible for us. And so I want to thank everybody who came out and everybody who has sent text messages and emails to all of the council members and to the staff. It's very supportive. We're people too. We're your elected officials, but we're people, and we hurt when people say hurtful things, and it's been very hurtful. And so that's all we ask. Just stay and watch. We did not do anything to stop this investigation. This investigation will go where it's going to go. But in the meantime, we have a city to run. And we are running that city. And that's our number one chore. You elected us to do that, and we're doing that. And so in that thought,